Hello everyone, I'm Sean, alright, and this is Everyday Food Reviews. Today I'm looking at cup noodles, chicken teriyaki flavour. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up compiling all three of these videos together. I've got three different flavours of cup noodles to look at. So, I saw this, first of all, I was at work the other week and Sam at work brought in two of these cup noodles, and I asked him where he got them from because I'd not seen them before, and I noticed that they were cup noodles which are made by Nissin, who are the brand who make the soba noodles that Lineage View recommended that I've been buzzing off ever since we had them. And he said his missus got them, and he couldn't remember where from, but he texted her, she got them from home, B&M. So I went to B&M and I found the chicken teriyaki flavour and the Katsu Curry flavour. And then I was in Tesco earlier this week, luckily I'd not gotten around to doing these videos yet, I found a seafood flavour as well for £1.25 in Tesco. Well, I can't remember how much these were in B&M, it was either £1 or £1.25, but I opened this up just before I did the bang video and prepared it. So open the lid halfway, pour boiling water to the fill line, which is up here. Now with a pot noodle, I fill the water well below the fill line because otherwise it ends up really runny and unpleasant. But I thought, it's a review, I'll follow the instructions. I've not done it before, I'll follow the instructions because I know the soba ones as well, you fill it really high and then drain the noodles out and then add a sauce. This one there was no packets or anything, you just open the pot and put that much water in. But then came back down to it and it is not really wet and soupy. The noodles have absorbed all that water, which is fantastic. I was really impressed with that. So even though it's 70 grams, the same as a pot noodle, when the prepared weight is going to be more, or certainly similar, but with a pot noodle a lot of that weight is literally just like soup and sauce. If you make them how I do, they're going to be probably about 50 or 100 grams less because I put in a lot less water. But this one you can follow the instructions, no problem. So smells, it's very savoury. Smells like chicken noodles, so very savoury chicken noodles. We'll get into tasting them. Hopefully they've cooled down enough now. Cheers. And they're still pretty hot. So flavour's pleasant enough. It's nice and savoury, tasty, quite saucy. Even though that there's not like a runny soup or anything on them, it seems like the noodles are coated in a nice amount of sauce there. The texture's just about perfect for this type of noodle. Obviously the soba one is a dry noodle, like a stir fry style, and that's quite a different texture. That's perfect for that. This is perfect for this wet type noodle. It's fine, doesn't feel too stodgy or anything. The flavour's hard to describe, it's just very savoury more than anything. There's no real spiciness going on there, or any sourness, it's just a very savoury, sort of noodly, chickeny flavour. That's fine, a lot of the time that's all you want. So, I'll be honest, I started with this one because I expected it to be the least interesting. I thought the Katsu Curry one's going to be a bit spicy, and the seafood one, never had instant seafood noodles, don't know what to expect. It could be life-changing, for better or for worse, but we'll find out when we get to that. I'll wrap that up there. I'll see how long the video is and probably do the others and decide if I'm going to compile them together. You'll know by now from the title whether I have done or not. But yeah, record two endings. We'll get straight into the Katsu Curry ones then. Cheers. So we're back with the Katsu Curry flavoured noodles. can probably tell by the title we're going to be doing all 3 noodles now at this point. So very much, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a thumbnail. I'll probably have to like put 3 pictures together or something. Yeah, you can see there, colour is, hopefully you can see, I've done this a few times and you've never been able to see properly. Colour is very much yellow, orangey, curry sort of colour. It smells very strongly of Katsu Curry. I feel like this one's going to be much more up my alley than the last one. The last one was fine, it was just a sort of savoury flavour, the flavour itself didn't jump out. This one, I can tell already it's going to be a bit more punchy, but that's what I expected, which is why I saved it. That's why I didn't start with this one, because I thought it would probably be downhill from this one. Yeah, it's still a bit hot. Like the last one, filled it up to the fill line and it's absorbed all the water just fine. Very tasty indeed. I'll be honest, the flavour is very similar to the curry flavour pot noodle, but the noodles seem objectively better. They do seem thinner, but they seem to absorb the water better. Making it up as directed, it's certainly better. A pot noodle, like I said before, I'd put less water in. And that little bit of mango chutney in the pot noodle's quite nice as well, but I think overall this is objectively better than a pot noodle. Even if the flavour's kind of similar, you know, it's a mild curry flavour. This has nice broad beans in it, which is cool. See that? Yeah, they've come out nicely from being dehydrated. Yeah, very impressed with this one. The only thing is, even though it's better than a pot noodle, for £1, if I can get a pot noodle for 50p, I'd probably pick up the curry pot noodle over this most of the time. If I could get this for closer to 75p, then it'd be a much more difficult decision. If they were the same price, it'd be this every time, easily. I think that the curry flavour is much more authentic, even though it is similar. And obviously this is a Katsu curry, Japanese style curry with Japanese style noodles. The pot noodle one is ramen noodles with a more generic curry flavour, and then it's got mango chutney with it, so that would imply it's an Indian curry flavour. But yeah, the flavour itself, lot more punchy and recognisable than the other one, the teriyaki chicken one. But we'll wrap that up there and then get into the seafood one probably in a couple of weeks' time for me, but it'll be right now for you. Cheers. Okay, we're finally back with the final of the 3 cup noodles, Kaizen seafood flavour. Don't know what I'm going to do about a thumbnail. So, yeah, this one, Kaizen seafood flavour. I'm not sure what Kaizen means. I tried Googling it, and it said it was a Japanese term that means for change or something along those lines, transition. So I tried Googling Kaizen seafood to see what it meant in context, and I just got results for these cup noodles and for other noodles also made by Nissin. So, one interesting thing I noticed, I'll put the photo up if I remember, I took a photo, that it actually had dried surimi, or sliced up pieces of crab sticks in it, which I thought was cool. It obviously means it's not vegetarian. So there we go, there's a piece, I can show that. So there's not a lot of it, but it's there, so see that? Again, like the other flavours though, this one, I've filled the water right up to the line. The noodles aren't soupy at all, just suitably saucy, which is great. we'll try these. They smell very seafoody, very fishy. It smells fine now, but while I was preparing it, it smelled fishy in an almost unappealing way. We'll see how they taste. Still smell fishy. Cheers. Yeah, the flavour's nice. It is vaguely fishy. Tastes a bit of seafood, but like the chicken one that we first looked at, it's mostly just a nice savoury flavour. It doesn't taste too strongly of anything either way. There's a bit of yeah, I just thought there's something chewy and fishy there, almost like squid. I've just checked the ingredients. There are actually squid pieces in it, which I think is really cool. As a pot noodle, you've just got like soya pieces that are like imitation chicken or imitation beef. This one, seafood, and there are actually, there's a piece, actually little squid pieces in it, which considering that this is completely dehydrated and we've just added boiling water to it, the squid actually tastes pretty nice, and the texture's pretty nice. Nice and chewy. Yeah, I actually like these ones. I wasn't sure what to expect from them, but I think I might rate them as my favourite. The Katsu Curry one maybe was my favourite, but this is the one I would get again. The first one, the chicken one, was a bit generic. The curry one was very nice, but I can quite easily get a curry pot noodle for half the price. This one, I've not had other instant noodles like it, so this is the one I would pick up again, I think. It's got actual squid pieces in it. It's savoury. It's a savoury and inoffensive flavour, just like the chicken one. But I think that the actual pieces of squid and surimi set it apart enough to edge it out over those. Obviously, if you don't like squid, you're not going to like it. But the flavour, excuse me, the flavour apart from the actual pieces of squid themselves, the seafood flavour in the rest of the noodles isn't overpowering or offensive at all. It's quite nice and pleasant. Yeah, I rate these. I think they're all really good. Problem is the price point. You're looking at £1.30. A lot of the time I would, like the other two, I'd get a pot noodle for half the price. Or for the same price I'd get the soba noodles, the chili soba noodles that Lineage View put me onto. I think they're fantastic. So out of the three, I would get these because there's nothing for the same price that's quite like them. There's nothing half the price that's, you know, the same sort of thing but just not quite as good. I think these are the ones that stand out to me. This is what I'd pick up again. So I'll wrap that up and finish these off. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Cheers.